All right, another day, another Joshcast. Again, running really late today. Actually, not oh my God, life is over late, but just kind of annoyingly late. Like the goal was to get up at 7, that turned into 8, and then Well, I don't want to go into details about what my morning was because I'm trying to make this... Why am I trying to make this a family-friendly podcast? To the 5 people that listen to it, this is not designed for families. I'm not a family person. This is designed for fellow lonely people. I masturbated this morning. That's what happened. That's why my schedule is off. There, you happy? So much for this being family-friendly content. It's too bad, by the way, that masturbation is not considered family-friendly content. It's too bad that sex gets the R rating in movies. And, well, we can't talk about this, and there's all this taboo about it. It seems to me that the sooner that we can get people masturbating in this world, the better. Now, that opens up a Pandora's box. Because I was about to say, all these kids are running around in school crazy in middle school, and if they all had maybe, if we had a better, healthier understanding of sex, and that, remove the taboo, maybe that would help. The problem with that is that may stir the image of me having that conversation with middle school kids, and that's gross. Even without that, middle school kids are gross. I remember when I was in middle school, it was awful. Totally awful. Prairie Middle School. Ponderosa Elementary School, Prairie Middle School, Overland High School. Because we lived on the prairie, on the prairie. Oh, there'll be plenty of time to masturbate here on the prairie. Oh, there's a poster on this bus for the Suicide Prevention Lifeline. Don't suffer alone. That's the tagline. Don't suffer alone. Let's suffer together. You think you've got it bad. Is that what they say on the Lifeline? You think your life sucks. I'm still living with my mother. You and me together. Over the bridge. Let's do it. I don't know why the person on the other end of the phone is a Jewish woman in her mid-50s, but they got to really rethink what they're doing at this Suicide Prevention Lifeline. So there's that on the bus, and then I'm looking on the other side, and I see, on the other side of the street, I see a giant billboard for Frozen 2 with a lady, presumably, it's one of the princesses, I don't know, and she's jumping over, she's trying to jump over a ravine. And it's just, I don't know, oddly creepy to see a sign saying, don't suffer alone, and then another sign with a lady jumping. It's creeping me out. Bad timing. But that's my brain drawing ridiculous pictures. Indeed, ridiculous pictures. Ridic pics. Ridic pics. That's the name of a segment on a late night talk show that deals with ridiculous pictures. And now it's time for Ridic Pics. Ridic Pics. Hey! I've not owned a TV since college. After college, I had roommates who had a TV. But then once I kind of lived off on my own, I never had a TV. I have not owned a TV, I think, in 10 years, maybe more. It's just been Netflix and the cold, harsh reality of the prospect of death. Those two things. In my tiny apartment. With my space heater that broke after 2 weeks. Probably has something to do with having it on for 24 consecutive hours, day after day. It was great. It was awesome. And now it can only heat the room to the temperature that the room is. So it is no longer a space heater, it is a thermometer. It's a thermometer with a fan. That's what it is now. That displays the room temperature, and it's basically saying to me, I can't help you. I don't know what to tell you. It's 72 degrees in the room right now. You're freezing your butt. I know. I don't know what to tell you. No, they're doing every single day on Magnolia Boulevard. There's so much tree maintenance going on. All these people do is maintain the trees on Magnolia Boulevard. Day after day after day. Utterly ridiculous. People maintaining their trees. I'm passing by these apartments, by the way, that every time I pass by these apartments, they creep me out. They're big, they're brown. They look like the FBI building that Mulder and Scully worked out of in the X-Files. That's what they look. That's what they look like. But they're apartments. And or close second, they look like the kind of apartment where somebody who Mulder and Scully would be investigating is doing something nefarious, like eating children. That got dark pretty fast. I don't know why I used that as an example, but I did. So there you go. There you go. All right. Boo-ba-doo-boo-boo-boo. So, what else is happening? What else is happening in this world? Where else are we headed? What else is going on? Who else is there? How else are we having these situations? That is a fantastic question. Well, now my mind is literally wandering. Did I just say literally wandering the way? Did I use the word literally the way Gary Goldman says not to use the word literally? I think so. I think so. I don't feel good about that. I don't feel good about that. San Fernando Tires and Wheels. Where do you work? I work at San Fernando Tires and Wheels. Oh, I see. Do you enjoy your work? I do. You see, several years ago, I came to the land of San Fernando, and I saw that not only were there tiles, there were also tires. I failed to see what tiles have to do with tires. Well, I meant to say tires, but I said tiles, and so I tried to pass it off like I meant to say it. Ah, I see. So, you came to the San Fernando Valley and you found tiles and tires. Yes, and I had to choose. I had to choose a life in tiles or a life in tires. So I went out into the desert on Midsummer's Eve. And in the night I saw a coyote, and the coyote came to me, and I realized it was my spirit animal until it said, "I'm actually not your spirit animal. Your spirit animal is a pygmy marmoset, but it couldn't make it tonight, so it asked me to come talk to you. I would just make this clear. Normally, I'm not your spirit animal. It's the pygmy marmoset. He couldn't make it, but I'm filling in for him. And he just wants you to know you should go into tires. Don't do tiles, do tires. You'll like it better. That's it. That's the message. I'm out of here. Have a nice life. And so I returned to San Fernando, and I made my life tires. And that's my story. It's a beautiful story. I don't have that kind of story. I'm working at the Suicide Lifeline, listening to people's sob stories. You think they got sob stories? I'm still living with my mother in a one-bedroom apartment that looks like where they filmed the X-Files. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. All right, well, this is tipped into silliness. Hasn't it? Interstate 5. This reminds me of this. So I've got this. I want to see if I can do an entire hour of jokes on Star Trek Deep Space Nine, just to see if it's possible. And one of the bits I was working on is the name Deep Space Nine. First of all, how lame is Deep Space One at this point? There's 8 other deep space stations. It's really not deep space anymore. It feels more like, the light suburbs, really. And the other thing about the name, Deep Space Nine, there's something inherently dramatic about that name, the way that it rolls off the tongue. Deep Space Nine. Set a course for Deep Space Nine. It's the 9, I think. It's 9. Kind of like similar to Babylon 5. Speaking of controversies, and did one show take from the other show. Babylon 5, Deep Space Nine. Copyright infringement, anyone? But 5, 9, yes. Actually, to be fair, I think J. Michael Straczynski, who created Babylon 5, did say that he didn't think that any of the writers on Deep Space Nine necessarily knew about Babylon 5, but he suspects that the studio did, and that the studio may have influenced Deep Space Nine based off of the pitch that he gave them when he pitched Paramount Babylon 5. So there's a little bit of drama for you there. But I just say that in all fairness to the writers of Deep Space Nine, who did not know about Babylon 5 when they were conceiving of Deep Space Nine. If that makes sense. So, where was I? Right, Deep Space Nine, dramatic name. Dramatic number, 9. Monosyllabic. Large vowel. Sounds like a scream. 9! It's something a villain can say when he's just been bested. They've defeated me. Deep Space Nine! It can't work with other numbers. That's the point I'm trying to make. It can't work with 7. Deep Space 7. Nope. There's something. 7 feels like we almost lost our lives. But then we found them again at Deep Space Nine. What happened at Deep Space 7? We got some Twinkies. It's too much like 7-Eleven. So Deep Space 7, that can't work. Deep Space 6, I don't know. There's already the space, then the 6. Deep Space 6. Sounds like it's too close to sex. You can make some sex jokes there. No. Deep Space 5, well, they did Babylon 5. That's already a problem. Deep Space 4 really doesn't sound that great. I don't know. Deep Space 4. It's like Riverside. It's all right. Nice place to live. Deep Space 3. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like Deep Space 3. It sounds like a real shithole. I can't put my finger on why, but it just sounds like no one cares about Deep Space 3. There's at least 6 more stations, so how deep can it be? Deep Space 2 is, they act like their shit don't stink. That's Deep Space 2. That's the vibe I get from Deep Space 2. There's something about, it's a bunch of high-rise condos, a bunch of, even though there's not supposed to be any money in the Federation and it's an egalitarian society, the best of the best have a condo on Deep Space Two. That's what it feels like. And they're called Tuies. Deep Space One, lame. Deep Space One, lame. There's no Deep Space Zero. That's just Earth. Whatever. Don't know what Deep Space 10's going to be. Don't know. Exciting. It's always exciting. A new Deep Space is always exciting. And then they open it and you go, it's just like all the others. It's still better than 7. Still better than 3. Doesn't have 9's personality, though. I don't know. It's a little too impersonal, Deep Space 10. But they have a nice food court. So yeah, that's those are my thoughts on Deep Space Nine. All I need to do is that for another 55 minutes. And I've achieved my dreams. 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 Rah. Deep Space Nine. Okay, what else? What else is happening? What else can I discuss? What else can I discuss today? Today is Wednesday, or Wednesday, for those of you that care about how things are actually spelled. I'm in a better mood today, less depressed today. Don't worry, the day is young. I'll get back in the groove. Don't you worry your pretty, pretty little head. Well, I'm here. I'm at my destination. This was fun. Have a nice day! Have a nice day!